Hello everybody, we are now going to be talking about dividing fractions, and we're going to be talking about two different things. The first one is dividing a whole number by a unit fraction, and the second one is dividing a unit fraction by a whole number. And they are very different, so we want to make sure we pay attention to what we're doing. So the first example I have for you is we're going to be dividing 4 divided by a half. So we're going to take our 4 wholes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're dividing them in half. And pretty much the way you figure this out is you're going to count the number of halves you end up with. So this is 4 divided into groups of a half. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So our answer is 8. Now there's another strategy called keep, change, flip that we use. And we are going to keep our 4, change our symbol from a division symbol to a multiplication symbol. So we're going to go to the opposite symbol, and then we're going to flip. And this just means instead of having a half, you're going to put your 2 on the top, the 1 on the bottom, and you're going to have 2 wholes, or 2 over 1. So again, we took our 4, kept it. You know that 4 over 1 still means 4. Change your symbol from division to multiplication, and then flip that 1/2 to 2 over 1. Now you have a multiplication problem, which is easy to solve. 4 times 2 is 8 over 1 times 1 is 1, and 8 over 1 is just 8. So you can see that we still get that same answer. This is our pictorial form. Here's your mathematical version. We can do the same thing again if we have 5, and this time we're going to divide it into thirds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wholes, and we're going to split these into thirds. And then we're going to count how many thirds we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we end up with 15 thirds. So there are 15 thirds in 5. We can do the same thing with keep, change, flip. Keep the 5, write it as 5 over 1, means the same thing, same value. Change your symbol from division to multiplication, opposite operation, and then flip. Instead of 1/3 or 1 over 3, you're now going to have 3 over 1. Now multiply across. So 5 times 3 is 15 over 1 times 1, which is 1, which is 15. So there you have it. You still have 15 equaling to 15 there. Again, pictorial and then mathematical. So now we're going to go to a scenario where we have dividing a unit fraction by a whole number. So we're going to take a unit fraction and put it into different numbers of parts. So in this case, I have a unit fraction of a half, and I'm going to split that half into 4 parts. So pretend like you had a cake and you ate half of it, so you have half of it left. And then there's 4 people in your family, so you want to split that equally amongst the 4 people in your family. And then you figure out how much of the original piece of the pie or of the cake you have. So that little shaded in portion is worth 1/8. So we took a half of our cake, split it into 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, drew the lines across. It is worth 1/8 of the original cake. Now we can do the same thing down here. Keep our 1/2, change from division to multiplication, and then flip. So instead of 4, we're going to flip it. So in this case, it would be like 4 over 1. We're flipping it to be 1 over 4. Now we're going to multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 4 is 8. So again, we're showing that you have 1/8 of your pie left or cake left. Same thing we can do down here if we're changing 1/3 divided by 5. So this is 1/3 of the cake you have left. You're sharing it with 5 people in your family, maybe. You want to know how much each person gets. Well, out of the original cake, each person gets 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces. So that's equal to 1/15 of the original cake. We can do the same thing for our mathematical version. So 1/3 is going to stay. So keep, change your operation from division to multiplication, flip that 5, which could be 5 over 1, flip it to 1/5. Multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 5 is 15. So you here have your mathematical version of 1/15. Now I did it so you can compare. 4 divided by 1/2 is not going to be the same as 1/2 divided by 4. They're actually inverses. They're opposites, reciprocals of each other. Not opposites, reciprocals of each other. So 8 and 1/8. Same thing here. When you did 5 divided by a third, you got 15. If you did 1/3 divided by 5, you get 1/15. So those are reciprocals also. So the order of this matters. So make sure you're paying attention to that when you're doing your pictures and when you're doing your math.